I want to show you 3 different ways you can set up your site plan for one of your final websites in Module 3. So your final websites will be due in Module 9, but in Module 3, you'll begin planning out your site, looking at the hierarchy of the parent pages, any child pages, how many pages you'll have on your site, and what kind of content is going to go on each page, and how is the navigation going to work from page to page. One of the programs you can use is Adobe XD. If you're in Creative Cloud, you can just select XD and open up that program. I have mine open here. Then once you get to this page, you can select the web desktop format, and you can see the standard web size is 1920 by 1080 pixels. When we start thinking about responsive design for mobile sites, you could select the iPhone size or the iPad size, for example, but right now we're just looking at the desktop size. So once you open up for the desktop size, then you can just start to create a master page design for your website. And you can use some of the same kind of tools you would in other Adobe programs. So I could start off with the type tool and just type in a title or header. So if this is for my ePortfolio, I can center that. I can change the font. I wouldn't worry too much about the font. Just kind of decide if you want something that's sans serif or serif. And you can start looking at colors. In XD, you can link assets. So if you had a library with colors, you could add color hex codes here. You can add character styles or different components. So if I were looking up a color picker on the web, I might choose one of these color codes, for example, and copy and paste it over and add a color code. Or I can go to the fill and type in or copy and paste the hex code there to bring up that color. Then I can create some frames. So we're just doing some basic wireframing here, and then I may just type in that same hex code, or I can just use a standard black or gray for now. And then I can just create some kind of text telling me what is going to go here. So let's say I'm going to put an image of the ocean here or waves. Then I'm just going to make a note of that, and I'm just going to fill that with white. So you don't have to include all the images, just start to note what you think you want to go, let's say, on your landing page or on your home page, and then I can start placing the text I want for my navigation menu. So if I'm going to know that I want to have a home page, I'm going to change that color so I can read it. I can make that a little bit bigger, and then maybe I want to place a color frame behind that. And I'm just going to fill it with black for now. And I want to put the text frame on top of that. I'm just going to hit Shift Command right bracket to bring this text frame on top of the other one. And then I can just select both of these items and hold down the Option key and clone it. And then I can change this color. Let's say I want to go back to that reddish color. Oh, I can't see the text because it's the same color, so I can change that color to black now. And maybe this is going to be the About page. So I'm just creating a simple navigation menu right now. And I'm going to alternate between my colors. So the next one is going to be, let's say, samples of work. I'm just going to clone this over, and let's say this one is going to be a contact page, and I can just move all this over. So maybe I want to space these out, so then you can fine tune it how you want to, but this is just to get some, it's a rough sketch basically of your layout, but it's helpful for you to start planning out what's going to go on your website and how the navigation is going to work. So now I've got a basic home page. I'm just going to add a little footer down here. and make that small. All right, so I've just got a basic wireframe for my home page, and then I'm just going to hit Command minus to zoom out, and I can create another page here. I'm just going to click and drag, and I'm just going to type in, I know that the size is 1920 by 1080, and I could even just copy everything I have over here or duplicate it by hitting Option and then drag everything over to this page. So, and this is rough right now because I want my navigation menu to stay in the same place on each page. Although I want to know that on this page, I'm on the home page. So I'm going to fill that with white. Then on this is going to be my About page. So just make sure it's clear which page is which. And then I can create a page with samples and with contacts. So I'm going to do the same thing. This time I'm just going to copy or clone this whole page over. And I'm going to keep them all on the same part of the hierarchy because these are all parent pages. So I have 4 parent pages. And then I would go in and I want to make this one the samples page. And then that last one is my contact page. So now I have 4 parent pages. I'm zooming in and out here. But then I want to create some child pages. So under my samples page, I want to create 3 child pages underneath that. So I have under here, oh, sorry, actually that was my About page. So I'm going to move this over to the samples page. And on the samples page, actually I'm just going to delete that because I want to clone my samples page. And then on the samples page, maybe I want to have 3 different pages nested within there. So I could have a page for graphic work. Maybe I'll have a page for photography. And then I could have a page, let's say, for video. And then, so I'd want to go through and center these and add some details to it, maybe align these edges. But for now, this is going to be really rough. So then I can go to, so if I were to click on samples on this page, it would take me to this page. Then I can create more child pages. I'm going to clone this. And then this is going to be, let's say, the graphic. So if I click on the graphic image here, it's going to take me to the graphic page. And so I can make a note of that just by making it a different color. So now I can see I'm on the samples page, and I'm going to click on the graphic page. And then I can do the same thing with photos and videos. So I can have a page with the photos on it. So let me just do another one. So if I were to click on this graphic page, then that may take me to another child page where I have samples of graphics. So then here, I'm going to zoom in on this page here. I may have 3 graphic design samples, graphic 2, graphic 3. So you can just see I'm adding pages, and I want to see how this is all going to work in the navigation. So here's where I can click on prototype. So I was in design view, but up on the upper left, I can select prototype, and now I can link these pages. So I can link this About menu, the home page to the home page, right? Then I want to link, I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. Then I can link the samples page to the samples page, the contact page to the contact page, and I want to do that for all these pages so that I can test my navigation. And then I'm going to link this to this page, and then make sure that you go back and link every single link on your navigation menu so that it is streamlined and goes back and forth. And so same thing with this child page. All right, and then this page, this last child page, I want to link all the navigation. So if you link it all on one page, you could do that first and then clone it. So I cloned mine too early, so I got to link all of these individually now. But you get the basic gist, and this is going to be linked to that page. One thing I want to mention in XD is make sure that you use the artboard when creating your subsequent pages, because I realized when I was using just the rectangle to create my pages, I wasn't able to link them in the navigation. So here I've used the artboard. So then let me just do that again so you can see how I did that. So I'm going to delete that, and I'm going to select the artboard and create an artboard here. Now I would want to put it in the parent level, but I'm just putting it down here so you can see. I want to make sure that this is set to 1080. So it should be the same size as my first artboard. All right, then I'm going to copy everything over from here over to this artboard. And then I want to link my About page to this page. So I'm going to go to Prototype and then link this to this page. And now you can see the blue line is connecting to that page. Then if I click on Play, I can click on the About page in the navigation and it goes to the About page. All right, so just make sure you're using the artboard and not just the rectangle tool in design when you're creating all your pages. So that's one way to set up your basic wireframing layout. I want to show you another example from a student. So you can see she's got 8 pages. Here's her home page. So I can zoom in on her portfolio home page, her navigation menu, and then she's got her hex codes here with her colors. And then you can see she's laid out the other pages. For the gallery page, it's linked to 3 other pages for specific work that she wants to showcase. So if I were to click on the play button, then I can click on these links. I can click on the About page, and that takes me to the About page. Then I can click back on the Home button, and that will take me back home. Then I can click on Gallery and click on each one of these items in the gallery. So this is really nice in XD because you can test the navigation as if it were a website, and then you can even publish this so that you can get a URL address and view it online. So when we're looking at the prototype, if I click on this home page, you can see how it's linked. So this About page text is linked to the About page. This gallery is linked to the gallery page. I can link it there. I can link the resume page to the resume page here, and then I can click on that link. Sometimes it takes a little while to process. And so if you do that, you can just submit, you can save this XD file, the prototype file, and just upload the XD file into the submission area. You can also share it, and you can create a link to share it, and you could share it with a specific person or people that you invite. So there's different ways of sharing it, but you can, for this project, you can just submit the file to me. So don't forget to include those color codes and for the hex codes for web and a basic wireframing so I can see how you want to organize your site for either your ePortfolio or your professional site. So that's how you might do that in XD. We looked at Savannah's site plan, and this is what her final site for the ePortfolio looks like. So this is the final product. So you could see in her site plan, she had a navigation menu for these 5 pages. And remember, on her gallery page, she had planned to have 3 other pages linked. So here we can see that if I can click on this link, I can go back to the gallery page and click on other projects, back to the gallery page and click on photography samples. So here's her resume, her contact page. So you can see how she started using the site plan, and then this is the final form going from the site plan, and then learning other part of going through module 4, 5, 6, and 7, and 8, and then finally in module 9 getting to this point. And here she included that animated GIF. I have a video that's embedded already that shows you how you could do it in Photoshop. You could easily do that in InDesign also. So if I've got InDesign opened up here, I've started one, but let's go to the beginning. So if I go to File, New, I can select Web, and again I can select a preset web format. So I can select the standard 1080. Here I've got 1920 by 1080, so I'm going to select that, and we want to work with pixels with web. Then you can go ahead and create it. And you can go to your page menu, and you could even start with your master page and just create a master page layout. So I can just start with a text frame and type in my title for my header. Select a basic font. I'm going to center that. And then if I want to create a frame where, let's say I'm going to put an image here, again, I can type in that code, the hex code here, and the RGB code is 255 for R for red. It's RGB, so red, green, and blue. So 255, 87, and 51. I can go back and add that to my swatches. So I can create a new color swatch and just type in the numbers. So remember what those numbers are: 255, 87, and 51. 255, 87, and 51. And I'm just going to name it with that color value. And now that is added. And then I could add some of my text for my navigation menu. And I've already done that here. So we can go ahead and switch to see this. So on the master page here I have and I could add some additional text, so just so you know what I'm thinking, photo, maybe it's a landscape photo, landscape photo. All right, then I can drag this down. All right, I'm going to delete that page, but I'm going to delete the one by one here. All right, so to create your master page, you just have to drag it down to the live page area. So I'm going to click and drag down here. So you can see on my first page, I'm going to go ahead and delete that. So here's my first page that I dragged down, and it's identical to my master page. Now, because it's a master page, I cannot move things around without overwriting it. So first, I have to overwrite it. So I'm going to Control click and select Override All Master Page Items, and now I can move things around or make changes. So I'm going to click and drag to create another page, and I'm going to override my master page items. And now I just want to differentiate that I am now on the About page, so I'm going to make the About text black. So now this is the About page, and then I can keep doing that. This is going to be, I'm going to override my master page items. This is going to be my design page. And then for the design page, I want to have more pages, child pages within the design page. So I'm going to duplicate this page, this time by holding Control and then duplicate spread. And then for the design page, I want to create 3 different boxes here. So I'm going to delete this and I'm just going to paste. I've already have this here, so I've got a photos, a videos, and graphics page. So let's say this page is going to be my photos page. I'm just going to make this a different color so I know that I am on the photos page within my design page. So this is a child page. Then I can go back to my pages and duplicate this page. And this time I want it to be my photos page or videos page. All right, and then I'm going to do one more duplication, and I want to highlight my graphics page. So these are 3 child pages that are nested within this design page. Okay, then I want to have my contact page, so I'm going to drag this down from the master page area. I want to override my master page items, and I'm going to make my contact text black this time so that I know I'm on the contact page. And then once I'm done with all that, I want to add a few more things here, but just for in the interest of time, I am going to export this. So just go to export into a PDF file. That'll be easy to view, and I'm going to make this an interactive file just in case you had any interactivity or transitions. I'm going to save this onto my desktop. So when I view the PDF, I just want to make sure that I know where I'm at on the site. So here I know I'm on the home page, and this is the about page. Now I'm on the design page. Here I'm on the pages that are nested within the design page. So here I've got photos, videos, graphics, and then I'm on the contact page. So I can see how many pages I have here. I've got 7 pages on this website. So that's how you could do it on InDesign. So one more way is using Google Sites. Some of you may have used Google Sites before, and some of you may not. It's really easy to use, and I can just go to Sites on my Google Suite and select Sites, and you can see I have several Google Sites here already. So we're just going to take a quick look. They have templates already set up for you that you can choose from, different themes. So I just chose a theme, but then I customized it by adding my own image in the background. You can select where you want to insert images or text, and then you can create a navigation menu at the header here. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pages in here because I've got a page nested within there. And then you can publish it and view the actual website as a URL address. I can also preview it and see how it's going to look on a desktop. And I can see how my navigation works. So if you were to set this up from scratch, all you would do, I'm going to go back here, and I don't want you to use Google Sites for your Final Project 1 ePortfolio or Final Project 2 professional site, because you're going to be using Dreamweaver. So just keep in mind that whatever you do on Google Sites, you may not be able to do everything that you want to have it replicate exactly as it looks on Google Sites in Dreamweaver. So you're just setting up a basic site plan using Google Sites. You can use Google Sites for Final Project 3, the responsive site, because you'll find that the sites are responsive. So I'm just going to look at this site, for example. If I want to preview it and change my screen size, it will respond to my screen size. So everything resizes with the resizing of my screen. So that is totally fine if you want to use Google Sites for your Final Project 3, the responsive site, but just don't use it for Final Project 1 or 2. All right, so how do you start? So we can just start with a blank slate and select blank here, or you could choose a template. Remember, this is just a site plan, so you don't have to go fancy. And I can just type in a title. Again, I'm just going to stick with a sans serif, something basic. I can upload my own image here. If I know I have an image ready that I want to use, I can select that. I can add a text box, so maybe I want to type my title in here instead, and I can center that digital version. All right, you can add a footer as well. You've got some different layouts you can work with, or you can create your own layout. So then you can publish it and upload your URL, or I think that's probably best in this case. So just upload your URL for me to view your site plan so I can see how many pages you have on your site and how your navigation works.